Scotland's towering tempest where dreams and nightmares collides on Ben Nevis. A peak that's both inviting and unforgiving. It's called the Mountain of Heaven, but for the unprepared, it can be hell. Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in the United Kingdom, stands at B above sea level. Located in the Scottish Highlands, it attracts thousands of climbers each year. However, its majestic beauty belies the dangers that lurk on its slopes, as evidenced by two tragic events that unfolded in the 1950s. On December 19, 1954, a group of 11 Royal Naval personnel from Royal Naval Air Station Fulmar in Lossiemouth set out to climb Ben Nevis. The party consisted of 8 men and 3 women from the Women's Royal Naval Service. They had spent the night at the Charles Inglis Clark's CIC hut, situated below the great cliffs of Ben Nevis. The group began their ascent from Choir Lace at 0900 hours, facing poor weather conditions. Despite the challenging environment, they reached the summit of Ben Nevis at 1300 hours. After a brief 15-minute break at the top, they began their descent. The conditions were treacherous, with hard snow, neve, and poor visibility. As they made their way down, a critical navigation error occurred about 200 yards from the summit. This mistake led the group towards the cliffs between Northeast Buttress and the Arate, an area now known as the Brenva Face. The party became separated, with 6 members ahead and the others trying to catch up. It was at this point that tragedy struck. One of the climbers behind the leader began glissading, a technique of sliding down snow-covered slopes. The climber lost control, dropped their ice axe, and fell. In a desperate attempt to help, another member of the group ran after the fallen climber, kicking steps into the snow. However, they too lost control and fell. 3 more climbers followed, all losing control and disappearing over the edge of the massive cliff. The party leader, unable to see what had happened to the 5 fallen climbers, roped himself to the edge but could see nothing in the poor visibility. The remaining members of the group split up. Some descended to Choir Lace, where they made the grim discovery of all 5 bodies at the base of the Brenva Face. The climbers had fallen over 1,000 feet to their deaths. With no mobile phones in those days, the survivors faced a long walk to Fort William to raise the alarm. The local police were notified, who in turn called for assistance from the RAF Kinloss Mountain Rescue Team. The recovery operation began at first light the next day. It involved 23 members of the RAF Kinloss Mountain Rescue Team, 8 local police and mountaineering club members, and 20 naval personnel. The team faced extremely challenging conditions, including drifting snow and gale-force winds. It took them 10 grueling hours to recover the bodies of the fallen climbers. This tragedy shocked the mountaineering community and highlighted the dangers of navigation errors and the perils of glissading in treacherous conditions. Just 2 years later, on Christmas Day 1956, another group fell victim to the unforgiving conditions of Ben Nevis. 5 young men from England, aged 19 to 21, arrived in Fort William on BW with the intention of climbing the mountain over the Christmas period. The group was ill-prepared for the challenge that lay ahead. They lacked proper equipment and food, and their only watch had stopped, leaving them with no sense of time. On Christmas Day, they set out to climb Ben Nevis via the South Castle Gully. The weather conditions were extremely unfavorable, with sub-zero temperatures and poor visibility. Their progress was slow, and darkness had fallen by the time they reached the summit of Carndearg Peak. Lost and facing a raging blizzard, the group used their ice axes to dig a shallow hole in the frozen snow. Without adequate clothing or nourishment, they attempted to shelter from the storm on the exposed peak. As dawn broke, one member of the group began a desperate descent to summon help. He arrived at Fort William Police Station shortly after 1100 hours on Christmas morning, in a state of near-complete collapse. After providing what information he could, he was immediately taken to the local hospital for treatment. The police quickly organized a search party, but the hazardous conditions made the operation extremely difficult. The search leader managed to reach and search the Carndearg summit in failing light, crawling on his hands and knees due to the ferocious blizzard. However, the search had to be abandoned as night fell. The following day, the grim discovery was made. 3 frozen bodies were found covered by drifting snow in the shallow dugout the group had created. The 4th member was found 500 feet below, having died in a final desperate attempt to escape. These tragedies led to significant changes in mountain safety practices and rescue operations. The importance of proper navigation in winter conditions was emphasized, and the dangers of glissading were highlighted. As a direct result of these incidents, a line of marker poles was erected to show the safe line of descent to the Carnmore d'Argarete. Abseil posts were installed by the RAF Kinloss team and renowned mountaineer Hamish McInnes on the descent into Quayer Lace. The RAF also created a rescue handbook, which became a crucial text for early rescue teams. This manual set out basic skills for mountain rescue and became the standard reference for rescue teams of the day. Today, climbing Ben Nevis remains a popular but serious undertaking. The best time to climb is during the Scottish summer, roughly from May to September, when there's less chance of snow, rain, and fog. However, even in summer, the average temperature at the summit is around -1 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. There are several routes to the summit catering to different skill levels. The mountain track, also known as the Tourist Trail, is the most popular and accessible route. It's well marked and well trodden, but still challenging, with a constant incline and occasionally rough terrain. The ascent typically takes 7 to 9 hours round trip and covers about 17 kilometers, 10.75 miles. For more experienced climbers, the Carnmore d'Argarete offers a more adventurous approach. This route involves some scrambling and requires good navigation skills. It's a longer and more challenging climb, taking 10 to 12 hours and covering about 17.5 kilometers, 11 miles. The most difficult route is the Tower Ridge, which is only suitable for experienced climbers and mountaineers. It's a grade 3 scramble with some challenging rock climbing sections. This route takes 7 to 9 hours and covers about 14 kilometers, 9 miles. Weather on Ben Nevis is notoriously unpredictable and can change rapidly. On average, the summit is clear of cloud only 1 day in 10 during the summer months. It's crucial to check weather forecasts before attempting the climb, and to be prepared for sudden changes in conditions. Safety is paramount when climbing Ben Nevis. Proper preparation and planning are essential. This includes studying the route, checking weather forecasts, and ensuring you have the necessary skills and equipment for the climb you're undertaking. Navigation skills are crucial, especially in poor visibility. Many accidents on Ben Nevis have occurred due to navigation errors. It's important to be able to use a map and compass effectively, and not to rely solely on GPS devices, which can fail in harsh conditions. When climbing Ben Nevis, it's crucial to follow the leave no trace principles. Plan your trip thoroughly and come prepared for the mountain's challenging conditions. Stick to established trails to minimize environmental impact. Properly dispose of all waste, including human waste, and pack out everything you bring in. Resist the urge to take souvenirs or disturb the natural environment. If camping, minimize campfire impacts by using designated fire rings or camp stoves. Respect the mountain's wildlife by observing from a distance and not feeding animals. Lastly, be considerate of other climbers by keeping noise levels down and yielding to those passing by. By adhering to these principles, we can preserve Ben Nevis for future generations of adventurers. Proper waste management is particularly important. There are no toilets on the mountain, so climbers need to be prepared to pack out all waste, including human waste in high-use areas. Today, an estimated 150,000 people climb Ben Nevis each year. While most complete the climb safely, accidents and fatalities still occur. In recent years, there have been an average of 2 to 3 fatalities per year on the mountain, often due to falls, hypothermia, or poor navigation. The mountain's popularity has also led to environmental concerns. The John Muir Trust, which manages Ben Nevis, has had to undertake significant work to maintain and repair paths, manage litter, and protect the mountain's fragile ecosystem. Climate change is also affecting Ben Nevis. Studies have shown that snow cover on the mountain has decreased significantly over the past few decades, which not only changes the mountain's appearance but also affects its ecology and the challenges faced by climbers. In the shadow of Ben Nevis, triumph and tragedy walk hand in hand. Remember, nature's beauty demands respect. Stay safe, stay prepared. If you found this story impactful, please like and subscribe for more tales from the world's most challenging peaks.